All right, guys, thank you for tuning in, and I'm going to attempt to bring you the most comprehensive beach metal detecting testing video that you guys have ever seen on YouTube. We're going to use metal detectors that cost $269 all the way up to $1,599. I will show you the test parameters that I'm going to be using in just a little while, but I need a couple minutes of your time to lay out what I'm about to do and show you guys. And I'll show you the machines and the settings. Everything's going to be included in this video. We're waiting on the tide to turn to start going out so I can get down and place my sticks in the wet salt sand so we can test each detector. But let me introduce you first to the detectors that we will be testing today, and I'll tell you about the settings and how I'm going to set up these metal detectors. I have a working knowledge of cross-brand units, Minelab, Nocta, and XP Deus II. I'm very proficient with all of those brands. Each company has sent me detectors to test in the past, so I'm very familiar with their operating systems, their lingo, and how they work, and how to set them up with optimum performance conditions on the saltwater beach. So let me introduce you to the metal detectors. First off in the lineup today, guys, we have the Xterra Pro, which comes in at $269. Single frequency unit, but runs really well on the wet salt sand in a saltwater beach. We have the two machines from Nocta. These are two new releases from Nocta, the Score and the Double Score. Both are simultaneous multi-frequency units. The Score is the simpler unit, comes in at $385. The Double Score comes in at $425. We have the Legend. The Legend right now is on a deal in 2023 in December for $509 with wireless headphones, but I think the manufacturer suggested retail price is $600. Next in the lineup, we have the Deus II, $1499, and we have the Minelab Manticore at $1599. Now you guys will say, well, the Equinox series is missing. Well, I don't have an Equinox 900 in my lineup at this point, but I have tested the Equinox 900 and 800 on the saltwater beach, this exact same saltwater beach last year, similar time of the year. I'll go back and pull that footage if I can find it in my videos, but I'll also report, I remember what the depths were on those machines, Equinox 900 having a depth advantage over Equinox 800, but we'll get to that later on in the video. So those stats will be included in this price range. We got from the low end to the high end. What are you getting for your money? Well, you guys stay tuned and I'm going to show you that. Right now, I'm going to show you the testing parameters of what we'll be using. Check that little bird out, man. Check him out. Come on up here, little buddy. You guys see that? I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but I got a bird literally walking 2 feet from me. Check him out, man. Too bad I got my camera filming, or I'd have a super close-up of that little bird right there. All right, guys, let's talk about what our testing parameters are going to be. We're going to depth test these detectors on what I consider to be a good representation of a gold ring, and that is the USA nickel. It's a pretty much standardized test that a lot of detectors use in the wet salt sand to gauge how deep a detector can be potentially on a gold ring. We do have one 14-karat gold ring in the mix, and I'll show that to you guys when we get to it and the size of that gold ring. But we have a 8-inch USA nickel. We have a 10-inch USA nickel. We have a 12-inch USA nickel. We have a 12-inch gold ring, and as you can see right here, that gold ring is close into size, the same size or roundness diameter as a USA nickel. Check the thickness out. It's a little bit thicker than a USA nickel, but a very good test. If a detector can hit this 12-inch gold ring, it's doing really good. We have a 14-inch USA nickel. We have a 15-inch USA nickel. We have a 16-inch USA nickel. And there is one more aspect of the testing parameters. The Legend, the Manticore, and the Deus II basically have bottle cap rejection settings. On the Manticore, you go in and you can knock out a bottle cap with a lower ferrous. The Deus II has a bottle cap rejection, and the Manticore has a bottle cap rejection. So what we'll do, we have 3 Corona Light bottle caps. We have one by itself. We'll place it around 6 inches. we'll get the detector set up to where they deal with this cap pretty good, and then we'll come back and we'll test the unmasking capabilities. Cap, USA nickel spaced out. Cap, USA nickel spaced out a little bit further, and we'll see which detector does good or does better with the bottle cap rejection engaged. Okay, this is Jim, guys.
Jim Smith.
He's come up on the beach. He's got a CTX. We're going to run it over a 12-inch gold ring and a 14-inch nickel versus the Manticore. So we're going to see how the $2,000 CTX stacks up against the $1,599 Manticore in the wet salt sand. You ready?
Yep.
Hey, I appreciate it. Let's do it.
You guys stay tuned to the end of this video to see the bonus footage of the CTX, which we didn't know we were going to have today, versus the Manticore and the Deus II on the deep stuff. Guess what happens?
All right, guys, we're going to take the Xterra Pro. I'm going to walk through the wet salt sand here. Let me get the headphones unplugged so you guys can hear this unit. We've got this machine set up stable. We're going to take all machines, ground balance them into wet salt sand and set them in their most stable configuration. We'll take the Legend, make it comparable to the Deus II and the Manticore. And we're going to take the Xterra Pro, and we got it set up quiet. Listen. Salt water under the coil. We make sure volume is wide open so you guys can hear it. It is running. Silent. It's pretty good. And that is Beach 1. All right, guys, let's check it out. All right, guys, we've got the Minelab Xterra Pro running Beach 1 today. We've got the ground balance set, volume wide open. We've got the tones at 5 today. We've got the recovery at 2. So the machine's really stable today. We ran the sensitivity at 20 on this unit. So very, very stable unit on the beach. Stay tuned. Beach 1, 8-inch nickel. Seven or 8 on the screen. Repeatable tone. That's a $269 metal detector. 10-inch nickel. Repeatable tone. 12-inch nickel. 10 inches on an Xterra Pro is the max depth on a USA nickel. Let's get the score out. Stay tuned. All right, we've got the Nocta Score. There's really nothing I can do to this detector. It's a turn on and go. We will adjust the sensitivity, and that's about it. So let me get it set up in beach mode. Let me get it turned on. Let's get the volume up. Volume is all the way up. All right, that's pretty much it right there, guys. I mean, we'll noise cancel it. Eight-inch nickel. Turn on and go multi-frequency metal detector. Ten-inch nickel. 12-inch nickel. Lights out on the 12-inch nickel with the score. So stay tuned for the double score. Now the double score, we're going to ground balance. So let me get some sensitivity to this unit. About a 9. Let's see what that does. 6 on the meter on the ground balance. The Nocta Score was ran in beach mode today with a recovery of 2. Iron filter of 1, and that's pretty much it with a sensitivity of 9 is what we tested the Nocta Double Score. So you guys see the results. Oh, and let me show you guys that it is running stable. Stability's great. It's almost totally silent. 8-inch. Let me call out the settings on this, and I'll show you how I had each machine set up. 10-inch. 12-inch. Lights out on the 12-inch nickel. Double score from Nocta. Next in the lineup is the Nocta Legend, flagship from Nocta. Let's check it out. Stay tuned. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, man, this is a stable unit with this coil. Now, I've not depth tested this update or this size coil on the beach before. I've tested the 11-inch coil in the first update they did, but dude, I'm running at like a 28, 29 sensitivity, and I'm running really, really good. So you guys, all right guys, we ran the Mighty Legend hot today. It was very stable. We ran it on, or we are running it on a recovery of 4, iron filter 1, stability 2. Bottle cap rejection is off at this time, but that will change later on in the video when we do the bottle cap unmasking and rejection test. Stay tuned. Legend goes to very stable unit, man. This is it's more stable than the Xterra Pro. The score, the double score, is stable too, but this is a super. I mean, it's almost silent search down there. No problem on the 8. Here's the 10. Okay, that's that coil there. Here is this is multi-wet, so I'm going to show you guys the settings in just a second. The 12, let's bump it up just another notch, see if we can get it. It's still stable. Pretty much taps out right there on the 12-inch nickel. Now, let me show you guys the settings while I'm here. So we're running recoveries. Let me show you what I got here. Recovery of 4. Got the noise canceling. We got the machine ground balanced. We got everything going here. Iron filter stability 5. Let's lower the stability down just a little bit. Let's see if we can gain something out of that real quick. So 3's good. 1's good. Little bit of feedback on 1-1, 1-2. Let's test it again on 1-2 with the stability. There is no, and just to show you guys, there is no bottle cap filter on. So let's just test it with that stability lowered and see if we can get a little more out of it right there, guys. So let's look. I'm getting an iron tone and a little high blip. All right, guys, it's calling the 12-inch nickel with an iron tone. I'll get a couple of blips off of it, but that is the 12-inch nickel with the stability feature lowered down on it. So you guys see me lower it to 1. It was a little bit rough at 1, and 2 stabled the machine up, but we're getting an iron tone and a blip every now and then on a 12-inch nickel. So we're going to say that max depth for the Legend on a nickel with that coil in the updated version is 12 inches maximum if you chase an iron signal, partially non-ferrous signal. So maybe more like realistically 11 would be a double blip digger. And this is pitch audio, so 12 inches maxed out Nocta Legend on the wet salt sand. Stay tuned. Next up in the lineup, the Mighty Manticore. Right, guys, we got the Mighty Manticore. It was ran at a sensitivity of 22 today. I had the Beach Low conductors. This test out really good on gold and nickels. It's really deep unit on gold and beats low conductors. It's running a higher frequency. Ground balance at 14, recovery speed at 4, discrimination pattern all metal. 9 on the upper, 7 on the lower. Depth audio theme. Now this will change when I go into the bottle cap testing later on in the video, so stay tuned. We've seen it versus the CTX. We had the CTX. I'm gonna have to edit that in, but we've got the CTX. So you guys, just give me a minute. Balances is about a 15 in the wet salt sand. All right, so there we go with that. We're gonna run with that. We're gonna run the sensitivity at 22, usable, huntable settings. That's what I used in the live stream yesterday. Beats low conductor, and here's the settings to the Manticore. We've got the Manticore coming in on the 8-inch first, so let's see what happens here, guys. Let's see what we can get done today. All right, 8-inch nickel. Let's make sure that we've got external audio going. Not a problem. 10-inch nickel. Not a problem, smokes it. 12-inch nickel, not gonna be a problem. 12-inch gold ring. This is the gold ring at 12 inches. Not a problem, guys, not a problem. This is a 14-inch nickel. Repeatable tone on a 14-inch nickel. I'm going to try the 15-16 over here. This one's deep. I don't know if it'll hit it because I buried it a little bit deeper than 15. That's probably a 16-inch nickel there. The Manticore will hit a 15. Here's the 14. So I've tested the Deus II and the Manticore, and both down to 15 inches, they will get a nickel. We see it hit the 14. Maybe I'll bury the 15 too just to show it, but they will both hit a 15-inch nickel. But we see it smoking a 12-inch nickel. So we see 2 inches depth difference there between the Manticore and the Legend. We might have to get that 15 and put it in the ground too. So there's around 2 to 3 inches depth difference between the Manticore and the Legend on a USA nickel. Stay tuned for the Deus II. Deus II coming up. Gonna run beat sensitive. We'll go through the settings and I'll show you guys how I had each machine set up. So you guys give me just a minute. We get in beat sensitive here. We let the coil pair. Alright guys, here's the settings for the Deus II today. Beat sensitive, frequency max 40, iron volume 7, reactivity 1.5, audio response 5, sensitivity was at 95, salt sense was at 8, and then we ran pitch tones and an audio filter of 1. So that's the settings for the Deus II today that we ran on the depth test. Stay tuned for the bottle cap rejection too. That's an interesting test. Stay tuned. Oh man, let me get my arm locked in here. I'm killing myself. There we go. All right. There we go. All right, first up, 8-inch nickel. Next up, 10-inch nickel. 12-inch nickel. All right, next up, the 12-inch gold ring. Not a problem. Next up will be the 14-inch nickel here. Let's see what we can do on it. $14 seems about max today, so let's do a noise cancel just to see if it's EMI. But I have got the Manticore and the Deus II to hit a 15-inch nickel, so hold on just a second. There we go, guys. Let's look at this deep one. And the Manticore wouldn't hit this one either, so we're going to call the Manticore and the Deus II on the 16-inch nickel today in the wet salt sand a no-go. But you guys see it. Pretty much, I'd say a clean spot here. But we're going to bury the cap. I've got a single cap, 2 caps with nickels, one a little bit closer than the other to the cap. We're going to attempt to see which machine, there's the one that's closer, we'll make that last. This is the furthest away nickel from the cap. Here's the cap itself. And we're going to get all machines, the Legend, the Manticore, and the Deus II cutting up on the cap. And we're going to see how rejection of bottle caps affects depth and which machine comes out with the bottle cap, introduced. So let's see here. Let's just bury it. We're not going to go too deep with it. I don't know, 4 inches right there maybe. That's the cap. So let's put that there. Solid cap. Let's get it nailed in there. There we go. We're going to come here. We're going to put the one we'll put them long way. So the masking, I'll swing the coil this way. The cap will be on the left side. And we're going to see which machine can unmask the nickel or come closest to telling us that there's a low conductor in there with the bottle cap. So stay tuned. There we go. So that's the furthest nickel. We'll put that one there, cap. Let's go right here. This is the furthest away. Nope, this is the closest. I'm sorry. That's the furthest. Bottle cap unmasking test. All right. Let's put some bottle cap in this thing. Everything's staying the same except we're going to test this bottle cap. Bottle cap of 3 completely wipes it out. So let's look and see if the Deus II can tell us that there's a low conductor. I don't know. I've never done this test in the salt water, so I don't know how this is going to play out. Okay, that way it can. There's the cap. There's the nickel. Let's look at this one. Down the barrel. Let's see this away. Nickel ID. So it'll hit, it won't hit it coming down the barrel of the cap, but it'll hit it the other way. Let's get the Legend out, try it. Let's get the cap knocked out. Then we'll get the Manticore, raise the bottom, lower ferrous on it. So give me just a minute. All right, guys, next in the lineup is the Legend. Going to show you where we've got the bottle cap setting, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. The bottle cap setting on the Legend is 8. We've seen the Deus II call the bottle cap iron at 3. So we're trying to get them apples to apples. You guys check out what the bottle cap does on a level of 8. It's a little bit different than the Deus II, but check it out. This is the bottle cap. Hits on the bottle cap every now and then. You can hear a slight iron buzz with the headphones on. Down the barrel. Nothing down the barrel. That was the cap that sounded off the first time. Cap, that's the cap right there. Nickel right there. So it hits the nickel on the furthest one. Let's go down the barrel. That's the edge of the cap sounding off. You can hear the iron tone. Let's go this way. Okay, the Legend with the bottle cap of 8 will not hit the nickel closest to the bottle cap, but passes the further away test. Let's get the mighty Manticore out. Let's study the bottle cap on it. Give me just a minute. A lower of 6 brings the Manticore into the parameters of where the Deus II is. So let me cut the headphones off. let you guys listen to the bottle cap. Iron volume, it's an iron buzz. I don't know if you guys can hear it here on the beach with the wind blowing, but here's the bottle cap down the barrel. The bottle cap's right there, so I'm saying that the Manticore is still standing on the bottle cap. Let's check it this way. Manticore smoking it that way as the Deus II. Let's check it this way. Still sounding on the bottle cap, guys. Let me adjust the lower level up just one more notch here. Let's see what that does. I'm looking at the trace. It's painting down in the bottle cap. You guys be the judge. And that way, I think it's the bottle cap false in that way, but I can't prove that one way or the other. But it will not hit it the other way. The Deus II will hit it coming down the other way. So you guys are gonna have to judge that bottle cap test for yourself. But we're gonna let Mr. Jim put the CTX over the bottle caps, and we're gonna let him tell us.
Is it a pull tab or a bottle cap?
We got 3 Corona Light bottle caps.
Man, those are the worst ones in the
okay,
world.
okay, those are bad. But I'm not gonna tell Jim which one of these holes has something in it with the bottle cap. I'm gonna see if Jim can tell me, does this hole have a coin in it? Does this hole have a coin in it? Or does this hole have a coin in it? There's a coin in one of these holes, and we're gonna see if Mr. Jim with the CTX can tell us. And I appreciate
I know those Coronas are bad.
I appreciate him participating in this. Hey, you couldn't, hey, we got a CTX in the lineup now. Let's see if he gets it, guys. He's pretty swift for that machine now. He may get it. He may figure it out. He may figure it out. Let's see if he figures it out. There's a target buried in there. Will you check them both ways for me?
No coin. Coin here.
There's a coin there. Okay.
You agree?
Yeah, I agree. Them Corona caps is tough, ain't they?
Well, it's 14-16 right now. I mean, I would go for it because I look at like Oliver Twist. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But if you were,
the pocket's empty.
if I said, hey Jim, do you want to bet Calabash $100 on one of these holes? Which one would you be the betting man on? That's what we want today.
Okay. Well, this one.
Money makes us a little more particular in our digging.
I'm hitting a 12-16 right here too.
12-16.
I'm hitting 12-16.
Okay.
It's shallow. It's only 4 inches.
Yeah, you're right. They're all shallow. What's that one hitting? I'm interested in what this hits. It's right in here. It's right there with my front of my foot, right there. Okay.
13-17.
13-17.
That's a bottle cap.
That's a bottle cap.
You can bet. That's a Corona bottle cap.
Yeah, he's got it. He got it. He won that one. Okay, but these two, which one of these two has got the coins in them?
Okay. Yeah, that's a Corona bottle cap.
Okay.
Now these are Coronas.
They're all Corona bottle caps. Hey, ain't this fun, guys?
That's a coin right there.
Okay. What's your verdict on it?
Bottle cap.
Bottle cap? Okay. Let's dig them up, guys, and show Jim what we got. I appreciate him participating in this. This just made this endeavor much more interesting. But you know what? I want to show you something before I dig them up.
Okay.
I want to show you the other machines on them.
Yeah,
How about that?
Go for it.
All right, guys, so Jim missed the bottle cap closest to the coin. He called that a bottle cap, but he called the other two, he called the Corona cap by itself a cap, and then the other one, he said it had a coin with it. So he did miss the one, so did pretty good. All right, guys, me and Jim compared the CTX to the Deus II, to the Legend, to the Manticore, and we done a lot of head-to-head testing over the bottle caps, depth test, and the moral of the story. Well, you'll see the moral of the story in just a few minutes when we get to the end of this. Check it out.
That's a comprehensive depth test right there on the Manticore, the Deus II, the Legend. Jim is going over the targets again with the CTX. We'll see what he says. 8-inch coin good.
1215. What is that, a nickel?
It's a nickel. It's got a CTX. It's right there. Lights out on that one.
What is this here?
That is a, let's see here, 8. And this is a bottle cap. That's an 8. That's an 8, 10. That's a 12-inch nickel.
Okay, because I'm saying I'm getting.
Here's a 10. See what it does on that 10 right there.
1216. What is this?
That's a nickel. That's
Okay.
that's a 10-inch nickel.
Yeah, I'm reading 1123 to 1210. Okay.
This is a 12-inch nickel.
10.12.
Is it a digger? Is it iffy? Is it? This is the question. Is it as solid as the Manticore and the Deus II?
No, I wouldn't dig this one.
Okay. Okay. That's the 12-inch gold ring. Let me borrow your CTX a second. I want to check this thing too. I ain't picked up one of these in years, man.
See what you think.
Let me see what I think about this one. Let's hone in on this thing tight. If I hone in on it and keep it, see, sometimes when you test it on this beach, if you come out over that hump, it'll sound off. But if I hold in on it, I've got absolutely nothing on that gold ring.
Nothing.
See that right there? So let's say I'm trying to pinpoint it and figure out where it's at.
Oh, you know what you're going? Oh, here.
Okay, sure. Okay, let's see what we got, guys. Then I'm gonna get the Manticore back out while we got Jim here.
You hear it?
I don't hear anything. Just, you know, instead of the sweep like that, I'm just going over the ring. I want to see if that.
Hang on. For a
Okay.
minute. Let me just see what I got. I hear it. I hear nothing now.
You don't hear nothing on it?
No, I can't.
I think that it was sounding off on the edge of the hole. I don't think the CTX will hit that. That's my opinion, but we'll see. You see what I'm talking about when you tighten up on it?
I'm just trying to figure out where. Well, you can't beat that Manticore. I mean,
Watch this right here. This is what I want to see you do, your CTX. See that number right there?
Okay.
I want to just watch this. Instead of the,
Let me try that.
okay, so let's see if we can get the CTX to hit it, guys. I'm saying that Manticore might be deeper on that gold. It's my guess.
I don't hear nothing. I mean,
I heard it pop just a couple of times in there. When you get it set where you think it's at, I want to check your machine one more time if you don't mind. Let me check it close. See what you got here. What'll happen with these machines, see how that's humped up right there?
Right.
If you come off, you see it sounding off on that hump? Hear it right there?
Yep.
What we want to know is, will that thing hit it just like that Manticore?
It's definitely not hitting it like that Manticore at all.
Ain't even close, is it?
Nope.
Not with that tight swing pattern. You guys seen it. CTX, Manticore, gold ring. Manticore. Deus II.
All right, guys, I've told people this in the past when the Deus II come out, and now that the Manticore is out, that those machines were deeper on gold on the wet salt sand beach than the CTX. Caught a lot of flack from the CTX fanboys, but there it is. There's an experienced CTX user getting whipped by the Deus II and the Manticore on gold. Notice that the Manticore and the Deus II have 2 more inches of depth. Now, it may even have 3. We did not try the gold ring at 11, but their CTX is solid on the 12-inch gold ring. So let's just say that it'll hit it at 11. That's a 3-inch depth advantage on that small gold ring that you see on the Deus II and the Manticore. We see that the Legend stops off at 12 inches. That's stretching it. That's an iron tone. So 11 on that. So 14 inches on the Manticore and the Deus II. We see a 2-inch respectively and possibly a 3-inch depth advantage
over that detector. So no, not all detectors are created equal for the wet salt sand beach. That's what you get for $269 all the way up to $2,500. Thanks for watching. I hope this is the most comprehensive beach testing video you've ever seen with multiple units from multiple brands on a saltwater beach tested. Thanks again. All right, guys, so to add the results from my testing in the past from a year or so ago, I'm going to say that the Nocta 900 is around 12 to 12 and a half inches in this particular test in this type of scenario. The Equinox 800 is probably around 11. It's closer to the Legend's behavior. They were almost identical when I tested them on the beach a year or so ago when the Legend come out. So the Equinox 800 and the Legend are very close, with the Nocta 900 having a slight depth advantage over the Equinox 800. So there are the results for those detectors too that I didn't have included in the test today. So thanks again for watching.